Hey everyone, welcome back to Anime Sekai Podcast. I'm your host, Mikan.
And I'm your other host, Ichigo. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome. Join us this week as we discuss Mashle. Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey, guys.
So this week we'll be talking about Mashle. Just to start off, what did you think about it? Like really quick, your first impression.
Of the show,
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
it is a parody show, so
Hilarious. That's
it
the
was
only
funny.
thing. It was hilarious. I couldn't take the show seriously, to be honest. It was hilarious.
I think it's not meant to be serious, so
Well,
it is it's like a parody, adventure, fantasy comedy parody.
I I want to say this show was definitely Harry Potter when I first watched it. And I am not like a Harry Potter fan, but this show was definitely like the first couple episodes. I was like, this is definitely Harry Potter meets comedy anime.
It is. People have described it as basically a parody of Harry Potter and One Punch Man, although I think it's more like Mob Psycho, like the main character. But
Oh,
yeah, but basically, for those of you who don't know, this the story is set in a magical world in which an individual's position within society is defined by their power and skill with magic. But Mosh Burndead is a young man without so much of an ounce of magic in his blood. And in order to live a peaceful life with his adoptive father, he will need to become a divine visionary, which is a title only given to exceptional students from the Eastern Magic Academy. So, despite having no magic whatsoever, Mash goes to the magic school and determined to survive and show the world that muscles can beat magic. I will say, honestly, I thought it was going to be a little more serious.
in what aspect?
I thought it was a little more like shonen-esque,
Mm,
and therefore, I don't know, a little more serious, but it had more of like the Gintama goofiness.
yeah. To me, the show reminded me of Psyche K.
Oh yeah, my mom loves that.
It's one of those shows where that show you cannot take serious at all
Hmm.
because it is just straight up comedic. So even the more serious moments
Yeah,
for Psyche K, he's like talking about his parents, or but for Mashle, it's the and I've forgotten a lot of their names, so excuse me, but the guy with the gray and gray, white, purple hair that operates the puppets. When he had his flashbacks with his mom, I was like, oh wow, this is really serious. This is really sad. And then all of a sudden, Mash is just coming out of nowhere, just boom, breaking all the puppets, just destroying everything.
yeah. I think that's the thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
just destroying everything. It definitely has that one punch strength, like One Punch Man,
Ah,
Saitama. But I feel like his characteristic is more like Mob from Mob Psycho, um, because of the more like naive aspect, but also kind of stupid.
I don't want to say well, yeah, he's definitely naive, but that could be because one, he's been sheltered all his life, and two, he's literally just like a I go with flow
Oh yeah,
type of guy. Like whatever happens, like even in the middle of fights, he's just like, you stepped on my shoe cream. What are you doing?" And then he goes crazy, and I'm like, "Really?"
yeah.
Or when he's fighting the dude with the purple hair, he pulls out the shoe cream out of his pocket,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, "You
You
found my
found
hidden shoe
my.
cream. How did you find it?" I was like, "Didn't you just pull it out? What are you doing?"
Where does he get? He must have a stash. Yeah, he has like a secret stash all the time.
All the time.
Why shoe cream? I never understood that. That's like the most random.
Shoe cream is the cream
No, I
puffs.
know, but like why?
Oh,
Like why?
I they never explained that, but apparently when he escaped, not escaped, but like when he went into town without his dad knowing. This was in the very first episode. And he was like, I really just wanted cream puff. Like I really just wanted the cream puff. So I left the house to get a cream puff.
Yeah,
That's how addicted he is. He was like, I do not care about my safety. I don't care if people find out that I don't have magic.
yeah,
Because for people who have not seen the show, every single person in this show has a particular line on their face,
yeah.
and that is supposed to indicate, I believe, how
Like
strong
how
their
strong,
magic is. Yeah.
yeah. The more lines, like usually the more powerful, or like
Mhm.
it's like a level up indicator. And anyone without magic is basically taken out.
I think they are in prison and then they're
Hmm.
taking out because they are considered a curse in that community.
Yeah, and dangerous to society. He has absolutely no magic, but he is basically the strongest, physically the strongest person.
He's stupid strong. He's stupid strong.
To the point where he can fool everyone into thinking that because he's so strong, he can do magic because it's so ridiculous how strong he is.
Yeah. There's a scene where he tries to fly on a broom,
I don't know.
but he doesn't have any magic, so he can't make the broom fly. So what does he do? He jumps up in the air and kicks his feet at like super speed
I,
in order to quote unquote levitate off the ground.
that was amazing.
And this is why I think this show is strictly comedic. Like if they had more serious moments, I could not take this show seriously
Yeah.
because the first several episodes is nothing but comedy. Even in the serious moments with dealing with MASH,
Hmm.
you I can do nothing but laugh out loud. And this show actually made me laugh out loud to the point where I would sit on my lunch break at work while watching the show. I had my headphones in and I work in a pretty small office, but there have
Hmm.
been a couple of times where I've laughed out loud and my boss is like, "Hey, what are you watching?" It seems like it's really fun. And there aren't too many shows where the comedy is that in your face to where it makes you laugh out loud. For me, the only two shows that I can think of or that I can name, my top two that make me laugh out loud is Psyche K and Mashle. Those are the only two.
I feel like for this, similar to One Punch Man, like it doesn't take itself too seriously because it's accepted that the story is it's a parody in a sense, or just to make fun of, I don't know, it could be like Harry Potter or whatever.
Mhm.
But so because it accepted like not taking itself too seriously, it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Which I get that. It works and it's funny, and I actually believe they've been renewed for a season 2 because spoiler for anybody that has not seen it, season 1 did end off on a cliffhanger. They will be
Hmm.
making a season 2. I'm not too sure when. If they have announced it, I have not seen an official like start date yet.
A second season will premiere in January
Okay, it's
2024.
January. Okay.
So
Okay.
next year.
Okay.
As far as I've read.
Okay. Okay. Now, how did you feel about the show's in your face Harry Potter, like making fun of Harry Potter? Mash, who is obviously Harry in this situation, although Harry had magic, he had
Mhm.
powers.
Yeah.
In this case, it's almost like, okay, we're gonna make Harry Potter into a comedic anime, but the main character is not gonna have no magic. But even like his stepdad gave him that line that looks like Harry's thunderbolt scar on his head.
Yes, exactly. That I was like, oh my God, they're really going for it.
They really went for it when they did the broomstick and the Quidditch game.
Yeah.
I was like, they are definitely coming for Harry Potter.
I do feel like it was more of an homage. Although they were kind of making fun of Harry Potter, they were also just poking at holes of like how ridiculous Quidditch kind of is. and they just showed that, which I
Yes.
really liked. Honestly, I thought it was well done because I didn't feel like they were just putting like Harry Potter down. It was just kind of, saying, yeah, some of these things are ridiculous, and it's kind of funny though.
Well, and then the headmaster of the magic school that he goes to looks exactly like Dumbledore.
Yeah,
That guy looked just like Dumbledore, and the fact that Match threatened him
yeah.
upon meeting him, he was like, "Well, what would you do if?" Oh man, what did he say? What would you do if I hurt one of your friends? Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to take you out with my bare hands. And I was like,
He's like, I don't mess around, right?
bro, did you just threaten the headmaster after you get called into the headmaster's office? Like, what is this? Or now this may be a stretch,
Okay.
but in Harry Potter, Harry is known to be like very kind to any of the female characters that he encounters. Whereas Mash kind of doesn't. I don't want to say he's not nice to them. He's just oblivious to them, except for that one girl. This was a meme, a running meme on Instagram for a while. I could not stop laughing. But it was he was basically like, I don't see a difference between men and women when that
Yeah.
one girl was trying to trick him
Oh yeah.
and
No,
he
he's like,
ended
everyone
up
can catch these hands.
everybody
Men,
can catch
women, animals, I don't care. Everybody, old people, young people.
dang, everybody can catch these hands basically, because he literally, like, grabbed her by her waist and did a whole sumo backflip.
Yes, and just literally, oh man, he pulled a like MMA move on her. Just he's rated E for everyone. He does not care.
No. Well, and he gave her forewarning, and he was like, "Don't worry."
Yeah,
And I thought, "Oh, he's gonna be really nice to her." These hands is for everybody. I don't care if you're a man, woman, child. These hands is rated E for everyone, like you said.
I love that scene.
Love that.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part though about because I prefer characters who are like that,
Mhm.
who are like I do not discriminate. If you mess with me, I will just take you down.
Well, and that particular scene made me think of Yu Yu Hakusho,
Hmm.
when Yusuke, there's a particular scene, and I'm talking about the English dub because I didn't see the scene in Japanese, just particularly about the English dub, where Kuwabara was like, Yusuke, you can't fight her. She's a girl. And Yusuke was like, I don't care if she's a girl, male, female, she's a martial artist, so she can get these hands too. And I was like, okay. And mind you, that was in the 90s. So you didn't see a whole
Hmm.
lot of, well, I mean, I guess you did, more so in the 90s. A lot of guys fighting females because they're like, look, everybody can get these hands. She wants to fight. I want to fight. We're going to fight.
Yeah,
But it kind of died off a little bit unless they were kind of making like a parody kind of like this.
yeah.
So I'm actually, I thought that was hilarious. I really liked it.
So the comedy aspect is not really my thing. This is not my type of comedy, honestly,
Yeah.
overall. But I did like that the overall story kind of interested me in a sense that everyone has magical powers, and anyone who is, doesn't is
Hmm.
basically, as we said, like taken out. Because it makes me curious. Like I want to know more of the story, and I do hope that they kind of have a bit more of a serious undertone because it kind of has a bit of a Black Clover vibe, which I know
Hmm.
some people have mentioned, but it could just go the whole entire way, like as Gintama and never get serious, which once again, that's not for me. I do like a little bit more of a serious tone, just for a little while, but I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen.
Mm.
But the story, like the main story, I feel like has a lot of potential because in the beginning it is basically like a parody of Harry Potter, but it does differentiate itself with this like the deeper story and plot. So I hope that they like build on that.
I hope so too. I can definitely see the comparison. Although yes, it is a
Hmm.
comedic comparison, but I can see the comparison between like Harry Potter and Mashle, which I really like and I really enjoy. But I'm curious to know And season 2 is it gonna kind of take like a Gintama approach where it's like still
Yeah,
mostly comedic, but then with Gintama you still have your very serious moments, and those very serious moments last over several different episodes. But a majority of that
they're short though.
season, yeah, is
They're like 3 episodes. Like that's it. Which is so sad because those 3 episodes are like so good.
yeah.
Some of like the battle scenes they have are so good, but it's so short. Like it is unbelievably short for the 100 episodes they'll have of
Yeah.
them just messing around, and it's just not for me.
Well, I the reason I like it, I'm definitely a fan of
Hmm.
comedic things.
Yeah,
I am okay with this type of genre because it's almost like a mental break.
yeah, I can see that. Or like a story you focus more on.
Yeah,
Like this is like a story that you like fold your laundry to, or like clean something up, if that makes sense. Or maybe that's just me, but
I think that's just you.
yeah, I don't have my like both eyes watching, and I have to focus. It's kind of like, oh, I just watch it on the side. That's me personally, though.
Yeah. Well, when it got towards the end, when it was getting a little bit more serious, Lemon got kidnapped.
Hmm.
Now they got to go on a mission to rescue her. Then they get separated, and now they got to fight all these other
Yeah,
magicians. I think in that particular case, I was like, okay, it's getting serious, which I don't mind the seriousness, but I still need my comedic side because I'm watching this to laugh. I'm not watching this to for it to be like a regular serious shonen type of show. You know, you can't start out heavily comedic and then end off serious because that seems a little weird. So I still like the way that they ended it.
yeah,
The very last 3 episodes, I liked the way that they set those up where it's like serious, slightly comedic thrown in there, serious, slightly comedic thrown in there. And then the very last episode was comedic in a sense where everybody's still saying like yay, yay, we won, yay, yay. Everybody around them is like, when are they gonna stop? Or where they're all in the circle like we're the main characters, we're the main
hmm,
characters. And then Lemon is like, and I'm the heroine, and I'm the heroine,
yeah,
I'm gonna marry Mash. And I'm like, nobody's gonna address this.
yeah.
Nobody, okay, great. Because I really was like, she is basically Hermione, except Hermione was serious, right? Like she was just no play, no fun. We gonna get this and we gonna fight whoever we need to fight. And I'm gonna prove that I got the magic or whatever. I don't know. But with Lemon, she was very like not airheaded. I hate to call her airheaded, but she was a little bit of an airhead.
Hmm. Yeah, she was.
She's like a hopeless romantic airhead, the complete opposite of Hermione.
I mean, I think that was kind of the point too.
I thought that her character was just interesting to watch. Like, yes, she is technically a background character, and she starts out by saying, I'm a background character. But then she kind of falls in love with MASH. And then she elevates herself from a background character to I am now his girlfriend, but he don't know it yet. To now she's the hero, the heroine who has gotten kidnapped. So there's that trope.
I see. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like they definitely had various tropes within the show.
Oh yeah. And I think that was it was basically making fun of that, and I do like those kinds of things. I also do like that
Mm,
much as the main character. He's a little bit different from like typical shonen, where I feel he already had everything he wanted in life.
mhm.
Or usually typical shonen like fulfill their dreams or get something or be someone, But he was already content in peace. But the world around him threatened his simple life, so
Yeah.
he has to like go to fight to like protect that, preserve that, not to really achieve something.
Well, all while keeping his secret at the fact that he don't have no magic.
Hmm.
To which case, spoiler for anybody that has not seen it, all of his friends then find out in the very last, what, 10 minutes of the last episode, that's when they all hits them and they're like, oh, he doesn't have any magic. Dang, he hasn't had magic this whole time. He's just been shouting out random, like, what is your magic? Power. What is your magic? Muscles. What is your
Mhm.
magic? Strength. And like just naming all these random magic spells.
Yeah, just well, technically, I guess that's his magic. You know what I mean?
But I liked how the fact that they're like, oh no, Mash, when he was fighting the guy of the underground magic society,
Mhm.
when he was fighting him and he was like, I've got this magic mirror, and the magic mirror is going to reflect any of your magic that you put towards it. So the fact that he just kicked him and broke the mirror
Yeah,
and kicked the dude at the same
yeah.
time, that's when everybody realized, oh, he does not have any magic. Oh, shoot. We're all going to get in trouble.
I mean, overall, I feel like
We're
it's just
it just
it's
goes
just
downhill. It's like we're all gonna get in trouble, and he's like, "Mash, do you not have any magic?" And he was like, I got magic." Like he was like, "Oh shoot, they found it out." Well, we can't deny this one.
honestly, it overall for me, it has potential. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It has like that potential to be more fun, like funny, as well as the story could be potentially really good,
Mm-hmm.
if they do it correctly. But it's just not there yet. It's like the start of something that could be good, but it's not quite there yet for me. And I do think for people who haven't seen this, I will say it probably is not everyone's cup of tea for sure. But if you do like that comedy type of stuff, it's pretty enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie.
I know for a fact when the show aired, I saw a lot of memes on Instagram and TikTok from that show particularly.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely got hype. It got a lot of hype actually.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious to see with season 2 cuz it the hype was only for the first. Now that, mind you, this is social media from what I've seen on my end. The hype was only for the first couple of episodes.
Yeah,
I didn't really see too much more after, like, from the middle of the season to the end.
I do agree. And I think that's because a lot of people probably realized this is not for them. You know what I mean? And dropped it.
Mm,
And while the other people who it was for enjoyed it and kept watching.
yeah.
But I do think that lore was the, oh, Harry Potter parody slash One Punch Man. And that's not really for a lot of people, I would say.
Well, it had all the typical shonen tropes that come along with that,
Mhm.
but it was making fun of those tropes. So you have Mash, who is the overpowered character,
Yeah.
who is also the character that eats all the time. You've got Lemon, who is the heroine who gets kidnapped, but then gets saved by the main male character. You've got the comedic aspect to it, so on and so forth.
And you got Lance, who's like the cool second in command, or,
Yeah,
not really sidekick, but
he's not a sidekick, but he's the one who's always trying to fight everybody, who's trying to prove himself.
yeah, but he's like the cool dude, like the Sasuke of the group, or I don't know, the Zoro of the group, or
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, real chill. And then you have, I forget that guy's name, with his hair is black, but he's got that one like yellow bang.
Oh, Finn,
Yeah, Finn.
the scaredy cat.
Yeah, his trope is basically the scaredy cat of, like, every shonen has that one scaredy cat type character
Hmm.
that plays their role so well.
I'm interested in his brother. His brother looks cool.
I didn't know he had a brother until he popped up
Yeah.
in the episode, and I was like, "Who is this dude?" Well, when he showed up, I was like, "Hmm, he looks like Finn."
Hmm.
And then Finn called him brother, and I was like, "Oh,
And then you have like the typical loudmouth, stubbornish type of like Dot. Is his name Dot? Yeah.
yeah, Dot."
So yeah, you have the basically all the the popular tropes there.
Yeah, but in a sense, they're making fun of those popular tropes,
Hmm.
and that's what I like about this show is that it takes typical tropes that you see in anime shonen and even sometimes in shoujo and just kind of turns around, puts this big comedic effect on it, and it was enjoyable to watch. I'm actually looking forward to season 2. I kind of want to see what happens. I'm interested to see if it takes more of a less comedic, more shonen approach, or is it still going to
Yeah.
maintain its comedic with more serious episodes or
I hope they don't do too many of like those filler type of episodes, where the main story is not really touched upon.
mm,
I do want more build on the main story because I do think the story itself is pretty cool.
yeah.
Like the idea and the plot of it sounds really cool. And I would like to know what happened and
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
whole no magic thing, like why are they so against it and everything else. Also, like what is MASH and where did he come from, kind of thing.
Well, I'm curious to know if Mash's parents are still alive, and if they are,
Hmm. Yeah.
technically he was born without magic, so they considered him a curse. So obviously they abandoned him in a way, or not in a way, they did.
Or they were worried that
He was going to get taken.
he was going to get
Yeah.
harmed, so they had to let him go. Could be, yeah, it could be anywhere.
I'm curious to know if Mash ever reaches the top of that academy and becomes like the grand master, like the thing that he was asked to do.
Hmm.
If all of a sudden his parents are gonna come out and be like, "Mash, we've been looking for you," because that would be a good comedic aspect. It's like we've been looking for you this whole time. You crawled away from us as a baby, and we haven't found you
Yeah,
for over 18 years.
your mom dropped you, and then dropped you down a flight of stairs, and we could never find you after that.
But we've always been searching for you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
I could see that.
because Mash's dad had them deep in the woods hiding.
Yeah, his little adopt. I did like that aspect of like the adoptive dad, you know, and him finding him, and
Mm,
that was really sweet. I will say I wasn't kind of expecting this, but characters, the male characters actually look really good. Like they have a nice visual style.
they do. The only person that threw me off every time I looked at him was the guy with the purple hair. I didn't like his eyes. His eyes bothered me.
The puppet master, Abel,
No, not Abel. Well, yes, Abel's what they call it, the devil eye.
not the puppet tier.
No, the guy with the puppets. Cause his eyes, like even when they showed his mom had like I don't want to say normal anime eyes, but like the normal anime eyes.
Uh,
But his eyes were almost like a puppet.
I see, I see.
Like he had those creepy clown eyes. So it makes me wonder, like, because his magic is that he can manipulate puppets, is that supposed to be like a joke where his eyes look like a puppet?
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? A little bit. That's the only thing that creeped me out. Everybody else was fine. His both of his eyes, I was like, I can't look at his eyes too long, and they kept zooming in and like kind of forcing you to look at it.
you're like, no, back away.
He doesn't have those typical anime eyes. I got it. You can stop showing me his eyes now. But also, when he was a kid, he only had 2 lines. He ended up getting two. He ended up getting 2 more lines on his face.
Yeah,
So I'm curious to know, are they going to explain like the more powerful you become or can become, do you get more like do more lines just magically appear on your face?
that's a good question. Actually, I'm not sure. That's
Because when they did the flashback, he had one coming from his forehead to over his eyebrow, then one going right underneath his eye, and then a third one kind of crossing. But then when they showed him back with his puppets, it almost like he had 2 additional lines on his face, or maybe one additional line on his face. So I'm curious to know, like,
mm,
when they get older, if they become more powerful, do they get more lines on their face?
I feel like they discussed this, but I can't remember actually.
Well, if they did, then I definitely missed that because I was definitely about that. I was like, oh, when he was a child, he only had the what, two lines, but now that he's older, he's got more lines on his face. Where, like, I know he's powerful.
Mhm. I mean, it must be because basically that summarizes how powerful they are. The more lines you have, and of course, most people are going to start with one, and then I'm assuming you're going to gather more.
Well, then, if that's the case, is there a chance or a possibility that Mash could eventually gain magic?
Um, I mean,
Like, that'd be kind of cool.
maybe, but I feel like the whole purpose of the story is that he doesn't have it.
Well, yeah.
But why don't they just draw more lines on him?
Well, because at this point now his secret is out. They know he don't have no magic, so there's no point in hiding the fact that he doesn't have any magic.
Well, to everybody else, though.
No, yeah, to everybody else.
Yeah. Okay. No, I actually remember the lines thing. So everyone like in the world, in this world, is born with either one or two lines,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, one is average, and then two is like, you're pretty talented.
Right.
I don't think there's only three liners born. I think three is the most.
Three, I think, is the most.
Yeah, but through training, like they can go stronger, and I believe they said you can actually grow the lines.
Oh, okay. So then that would make more
Hmm.
sense. Because he's gotten so powerful, then that's where his extra lines on his face
Yeah,
came from. Okay. Well, then, if that's the case, then yeah, that answers my question. I was just curious. I must have missed that then. Yeah. Overall, it's a good show. I'm excited about season 2. You said January 2024?
hmm yeah. That's as far as I read. That's what I saw.
Okay. So I guess we'll be on the lookout for that. Curious to see how that season is going to go.
Excited. I mean, I really hope they go the good route where they do delve into the story.
Yeah. I'd actually like to see a little bit more story. Keep the comedic side of it, but,
Hmm.
delve a little bit more into the story. I'm here for the comedy.
For sure. I mean, I feel like that's like the biggest part of the
Yeah.
story.
And keep
But
the Harry Potter comparisons coming cuz that
yeah,
is gold. I love
I,
it.
I hope they sprinkle in more. Like
Yes.
sprinkle in more, making fun. Maybe like some villains that are just like the villains in Harry Potter, stuff like that. I could see that
Mhm.
happening though. But let us know what you guys think because I'm honestly curious to know what everybody else thinks. Because I do know everyone was comparing it to Harry Potter, obviously. But yeah, let us know. Let us know if you guys liked it. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Anime Sekai Podcast. Be sure to tune in next week. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye guys. Thanks for joining us. Catch you next week.